Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jeff again. We're doing a take two here. Hopefully, this is better. So please, if you're watching this, comment and let me know if the video quality is better here. And if it is, everyone owes Tiffany a high five, and we'll make fun of Chad. Chad's on the road. It's completely out of his hands. You know, when we're on the road, a lot of times we're at the mercy of the quality of the Wi-Fi and the hotel, and that can bounce up and down a lot. So hopefully that's what it was.
You know what it really is, Jeff? It's the fact that it was the one night that I haven't been on Mastery Chat Live after the chat. And so the universe was just saying, we need Tiffany.
So essentially what you're saying is it's your fault. Is what?
No. Take back everything I just said.
That's what I heard right there.
Whatever.
No, but thanks, Tina and Amber let us know, and Tina said it's much better. So hopefully this will continue to be much better. Which is really a shame because Chad was saying some awesome stuff.
Oh no, we couldn't hear any of it.
So from my end, I don't know what you heard. Did you guys get any of it, or was it all just?
No, it was
all right. Okay, well. Anyway, no. So obviously, I mean, it was an awesome chat.
Yeah,
and
really good.
We were trending the whole time, which is awesome. And we trend most Thursdays, but we were trending top 10 pretty much the entire time. Top 3 for the majority of it. So huge props out to Cameron. What an awesome
he is so great
topic.
Jeff.
And just a shout out to the Master Chat family that came out strong tonight.
I've never met Cameron in person, Jeff. I know Chad's met him in person.
Chad's the only one.
Conference, but he is in Ohio. Why have we not made something happen?
He's got family or something up in the Youngstown area. So he comes up this way and he never stops. So I'm pretty sure it's his fault.
Done. Is he watching right now?
I don't know. He had stuff going on. He wasn't able to come on. So maybe he'll watch it later. But no, I thought a great topic. Chad was talking about how it's sort of the topic itself was sort of outside of the box, which was really cool because it was a different, kind of a unique feeling topic. Man, everyone really everyone just latched onto it, and really there was a lot of passion coming through. And I think Chad mentioned that as teachers, a lot of times teachers feel like the creativity is sort of stripped or held back or restricted, right? Because of state testing and all the curriculum, restrictions and guidelines and all these things are placed on. So I think that's why a lot of people really jumped on. There's a lot of passion coming through in the answers and stuff like that. So let me do it. Go ahead.
I think that a lot of it too, one of the things I liked most about this chat is that we don't always think of creativity in terms of creative thinking beyond creative doing, right? And so I love that so much of this was looking at creativity from outside the box with a different lens. It's not about what students or what teachers do. It's how we approach problems and how we approach solutions and how we get ourselves in a place, in a position, and in a mindset where we can feel like we can create and then pursuing that. So really cool topic. Good job, Cameron.
Gotcha. So I need to apologize really quick because we missed a very, very important part of our live recap. And I blame myself because it's been 2 weeks since I've been on. I was on vacation, so I think I let it slip. So let me back up and just say, Tiff, how do you think the chat went, Tiff?
It was awesome.
All right, good. Okay, we can move on now. So
we got that out of the way.
So I want to touch on this, and this was fun. I was sharing this with Chad, so I'm going to share it again here. Right off the bat, question 1 came out, and it was about what do you think? How do you define creativity? What do you think of creativity? And Chad answered with creativity means finding solutions that no one else has thought of, or being able to look at a problem or situation from a vantage point that few can see. And you replied, dude, reading that tweet right there just made me mentally connect EOK level 4 to creativity in a way I never had before. Boom, 9 minutes into Master Chat, and I've already gained new perspective. So what got me really excited about that is we're in this chat every week, right? Our team, we're behind the scenes. We know the questions that are coming. We know people that are doing it. You founded the thing, right? And still a little over a year later and a ridiculous growth later, we still get so much out of these chats every single week. And that was just one of the times that you you almost every chat you're mentioning oh my God, that's amazing. I took this and you learn. We're learning so much. And I love that.
And how often do I talk to Chad?
It's never stopped. It's just continued to provide value. Now, it was also awesome that it came from Chad to you, which was cool. But
it doesn't matter. it doesn't matter how many times you've had a conversation with somebody, whether it's Chad or somebody else that talk to on a regular basis. Having these conversations, these structured discussions and deliberations, it's what we set up for our students, structured conversations, right? With the ability to branch off and explore. As educators, us taking that opportunity to have those same kinds of structured conversations.
Yeah.
Like seriously, 9 minutes into the chat, and I was like, ew.
Well, and Ms. Chalk, which is at Ms. T Chalk. I can't remember what her first name is. She mentioned something when I mentioned about us trending number 3. She said when you get to be a part of something bigger than yourself, conversations with awesome educators that trend on Twitter. Like that, and that sort of sums up like the trending part, but just like
right
when this has turned into something much bigger than our team, right? Our small little team, right? It's turned into this big thing that people look to for an escape on Thursday nights as a motivation or inspiration throughout the week, even in the summer, as a way of learning and a way of professional development and growing and support. Like it's just really cool, and it was just So I missed it the last couple of weeks. I had a blast on vacation that we were on, but. I love getting in there. Laura says she can hear us now, so that's good. Ryan says now it works. Yes! So thanks, guys. Appreciate you letting us know that it's working. We were dealing with some not so great Cleveland hotel Wi-Fi.
Well, Jeff, to touch on what you were just talking about, I believe that this Mastery Chat family has gotten to the point and has just become such a movement, right? Of people just coming together and sharing ideas and brainstorming and transforming. Like, I think if you and me and Chad and Ray and Amber and all of us just weren't in existence anymore, like, I don't know, we all get on a plane and die. But even if you removed all of us on the team from this Mastery Chat, I have no doubt that Mastery Chat would continue.
Can we do it in a way that's not getting on a plane and dying? Jeez. I know what you're saying. No,
you know what I mean?
And actually, Jeff just said, I'm going to bring Jeff back up. Jeff just said your team is just getting bigger, and that's what you're saying. Or like our team, this family, has just gotten so much bigger. It's bigger than it. So like, Kristen's feeling the same thing. Let's not talk about it. How about let's change it? So like, let's change it. Let's say like if you, me, Chad, Ray, and Amber just met up with Kristen and went on a really cool vacation.
Okay, we'll go with that too.
On. I think Kristen will agree that's better than getting in a plane and dying.
Sorry, Kristen.
But the point is you're spot on with the point though, and the fact that it's grown to be something special. And I think the Master Chat, the group, that the this enormous team that goes beyond our quote unquote team, has grown to be something more. And I think it would absolutely carry on. And it's awesome to see that. So really good stuff. The topic was awesome. We had I screenshotted a bunch of stuff.
Let's see.
Question 3 was about how do we give students the opportunity to be creative? How do we sort of nourish their creative side, and how do we help them grow on that? And there's a lot of really good answers to that. I grabbed just a couple, and they all sort of built around giving students the space to create, giving them opportunities to create. And I'm probably going to say her name wrong. It's Tziri. I think it's Tziri Lamb. She said, give them opportunities to create, make failure a part of the process, and give them control over their learning and experiences. And I love that because it's all about what we talk about. So a great one there. I love Danielle Moore, who's at D Moore Spanish. I think she's in Chicago. She said, after students have their objectives and outcomes established, step back and let them work. Less directions. Let them surprise you, and I love that.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie,
because they will. They'll seriously blow your mind when you it's always this really interesting balancing act and game you can play, because there's a lot of research and a lot of studies that show whoever's posting us the grid method right now. That's great.
That's Amber.
Anyway. There's a lot of research that shows creativity.
I saw Jeff's too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh out loud there. But he says now you can. Well, I think he said now you can now never get on, but he doesn't want us to mow the lawn on the plane either. But can never get on a plane together. Jeff, we gotta get on a plane to come to Georgia to see you, buddy. So we'll take separate plans.
But not all together.
Sorry. Now there goes Mal. Okay, I guess. All right, sorry. Go to your point. That's not me laughing.
Okay, anyway, so for the third time, Jeff.
Yes.
So creativity actually flourishes with some constraints, right? Like when you say, okay, you have X amount of dollars to accomplish this task,
yep,
it can create an opportunity for creativity to grow. But then putting the constraint and walking away as a teacher is really important, because we are teachers. We really like to plan and to manage, and there's most teachers I know enjoy that. And so we can tend to get a little bit too in charge at that moments. So Chad's doing it. God, I love Chad. Anyway. So constraints and then freedom. Like it's that balancing act between those two that can really, really show us some interesting things.
And I think that I think the constraint mention that it flourishes with some constraints to it and some restraint is really important, because I think that's a huge real life prep.
Absolutely.
Piece is that, because in anything you do in life, you're going to have some sort of restraints. Either you don't have the time, money, space, whatever like that. So that's that creative thinking piece, is when you have, okay, I got to do this and I can do it in my own way, but these are the things that are my challenges and those constraints. So now I have to really creatively think about, okay, how am I doing this? And I think that's such a huge piece. And I know you're an advocate for that.
I mean, these are the laws of the universe that we're living in right now, right?
Yep,
so whatever your classroom experience is, here are the laws. Now, what can you do with it? And oh my gosh, you're going to.
And we get that a lot, when we work with teachers who are, stepping into mastery learning or standards-based grading, and they look and they say, but my district does this or does that, or we have to cover this, or we have to present grades this way. Yeah. And what we usually do with them is we say, okay, here's a few starting point ideas, and then we step back and let them go. Yeah. You watch this creativity where they go, okay, well, what if I did this? And I could, and then they just start going. And your students will do the same thing. It's really, I love it. Good stuff.
There was a whole really interesting side conversation during the chat about standards and objectives. I don't know if you saw part of that.
I saw at least maybe your response about, I'm trying to think of it right now, but I know I saw it. I may or may not have screenshot.
There were a lot of people talking about standards and different perspectives, like people saying the standards kind of box me in, or the standards make it so that it's difficult to bring creativity into the classroom. But there were counterpoints talking about exactly that standards can offer us those constraints that we can then find our creativity within. And that's how I've always thought about standards, as like, here's, the laws of the land, and what can I do to just make the most kick butt thing that has ever existed in this classroom within those laws.
Yeah. Love it. So question 5, I forget what question 5 was. I'm lost. I forgot it. Let me look real quick. Question 5 was, have you ever done or willing to try any creative challenges in your classroom? If so, how they go? Share some of your favorite ideas to foster creativity. One that I grabbed was just Marissa Thompson, who's at Marissa E. Thompson. She said, we redesigned our room. I revamped my lessons, stopped giving tests in exchange for high-level and creative assessments. I say yes to students' ideas. And then she posted a picture of their room, which looks really cool.
It's like, I didn't see that one. I'm going to have to go back and find it.
She actually, if you go to unlimitedteacher.com, that must be her website.
Yeah.
She has a photo gallery of her it's a DIY flexible seating classroom. So very, very cool.
It's funny, Jeff.
I want to mention that she has a caption in there, like, after redesign a room, her students say that they feel like they can breathe in here, which is awesome just to hear like that. Which is always the more like that allows them to be more creative, allows them to engage better, and to that's cool stuff. So I hope Marissa's listening and knows how awesome she is. Go ahead. Well, you were going to say something. I'm going to let you go.
Yes. So it's funny because just today I've started posting like a teacher tip of the day on Twitter, and today's tip was about, a lot of teachers spend hours and hours and hours decorating their classroom with a theme before the start of the year. And so the tip that I posted was, hey, what if you didn't do that? And on day one, it was the students' challenge to determine and figure out within a budget or these limitations or whatever, what the theme of the room was going to be and how they were going to make that happen. Yeah. And I cannot take credit for this idea. However, I cannot remember where I got the idea from, but what a great opportunity. Like, students walk into your classroom, blank walls everywhere, right? And some teachers watching this may be having anxiety attacks, right? Especially if you're an elementary teacher, because I worked in elementary. But then saying to the students, what will you do here? What will you bring here? What inspires you and makes you, set on fire and feel alive? So there's just so many ways to bring creativity in. And
I love that. That's a really cool idea. I think Kristen, Nan, who's been commenting in there and who's awesome, who's done some guest blogging with us and just awesome teacher out of Pittsburgh. I believe when she did her, she redesigned her classroom and set up flexible seating, all kinds of stuff. I'm pretty sure her students led that whole thing. Like, they designed. I don't know if she gave them options or ideas, but I'm pretty sure. And Kristen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure she let them redesign pretty much the entire room. Based around
try and remember
creative and talking about that. So really cool stuff.
I want to give somebody credit for that idea because it's not my idea, but my brain is not giving.
Well, for right now, we'll give you credit. Another tweet I do want to touch on. Question 4 was, what pressures from your colleagues and administration might hinder you from adapting more creativity in your classroom? A whole bunch of people said nothing. No one could stop me, and and stuff like that, which was awesome. Eric J. Fullerton, which is at EJ Fullerton EDU. He put, comment, that will never work. My response, maybe not, but my professional learning from this experience will make the next thing even better. Watch me. I just love that because it was like that. and I always say, I say this a lot. I'm like, if you're failing and you mess up on that lesson or that new tech tool you try to bring in or this new idea or flexible seating or whatever it is, as long as you are always focused on doing things that you truly believe are right for your students, it's all good. Fail and learn and move on. So I love that, Eric. That was awesome.
Do you know the movie Meet the Robinsons?
I know it, but I'm probably not going to get it.
If you're watching this, like the video. If you've watched Meet the Robinsons, and if you haven't, you need to go watch it, because one of the biggest ideas in that movie is just keep moving forward. Right? It's failure as a step to success, and we just keep moving forward. And it's actually based on a quote that Walt Disney said that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I've used clips of that movie in my classroom with my students to talk about that very same topic, right? Your idea might fail, but we learn from it. So
I don't know why I don't think the comments are popping up anymore. So it does this sometimes, but Kristen commented saying, I love that idea, Tiffany. However, my stuff would be on the lawn getting rained on. We do a spin on it where they lead it based on what they see in the room. Okay.
Got it.
Like that. Gotcha.
Got it.
Laura said blank walls is how some high school teachers decorate, with a smiley face. And then Kristen actually did say, she said, yes, Jeff, that is what I did, but they had to work with what was in the room so it didn't get thrown away in the hallway. So, I mean, right there you're talking about, that's the little bit of restraint and constraints to make them really be that. So she said focus number 1 was students, focus number 2 was students, and our focus number 3 was, you guessed it, students. And
Jeff finished for number 3, students.
Yes. So that's awesome. I love when people are commenting on this. I just love when they get in that.
Oh, I know. Did you see Ray and I last week? I know you were on vacation, but we were just geeking out over all the comments. It was so much fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I don't know if you saw. Did you see the live before the chat?
A couple minutes of it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you didn't, and if you're watching and you didn't, you need to get into our private group if you're not already there. Amber, maybe you can share a link, or Chad, share a link in the comments for the private group. Otherwise, just search the grid method on here. You'll find it. Because Cameron agreed on video that we're going to bring him into the group and do a live video with him, because we were having a good time, but we were running out of time. So we're going to get him in sometime in the next couple of weeks. We're going to bring Cameron in with us. And maybe that's something we're going to have to start doing.
I love it. Anytime we get a moment where we can sit down and talk with some of these amazing people that we interact with online, just bringing that conversation, we always learn from it. Always.
Yeah.
Can we take a few minutes and talk about the poll?
I was actually about to move there. So
no way. Awesome.
I have it over here. So if you saw the poll, Tiffany said, loving this chat so far. Okay, Master Chef family, which of the following environments boost your creativity the most? And do you want me to read the top first or the lowest percentage? Let me go at this. So real quick here. Laura said, harder for me to have students decorate. I have several classes and they won't all agree. We'll have to figure that out. Let's figure that out. Tina gave a thumbs up. Amber just posted the group there so you guys can join that.
Laura,
so let's talk about this. So what's that?
Laura, you could totally like partition the room and have like different realms of the room, right? This is what
each class period gets their own section.
Right.
You probably would create some fun like, competition and cool stuff.
Oh my gosh. It could be like Game of Thrones where there's different like.
Yeah, they could have their own like their shield.
Yeah.
That's not the right word. It's a different word.
Crest,
thank you.
Yes.
Like their own crest. Oh yeah. We're coming to your classroom, Laura.
It's gonna be so fun.
Tiffany's already designing it. Anyway,
awesome.
So Mark says every kid gets their own class. So yeah, I
find the money for that, Mark.
I think there'll be some.
I think you
can do some cool stuff with that. Yeah, Laura, you need to keep us updated on how that goes if you try something. Yeah. So from this poll, was it just four answers that they could choose from, right? So the answers, the potential question answers were quiet, solitude, group brainstorming, exercising, or lots of background noise. Lots of background noise came in fourth with 7% of the people that answered the poll.
Surprised me, honestly,
which kind of surprised me too. But you know, I love background noise too.
Yeah,
I almost always have, and it's weird. Like I'll have Netflix playing like right over here. But it's usually on something that I've seen a million times, like reruns of an old show or whatever, because I just kind of like the noise, stuff like that. No, I do music and stuff too.
Coffee shop, like working at a coffee shop with Panera.
I like that, so I get it.
But a lot of people don't.
Chris, Laura says the yearbook does have a section of the room that they decorate. Kristen said you are speaking Laura's language, Game of Thrones, and Laura says, "Ha ha ha, bring it."
You got to do it, Laura.
Poe Ruffett, I don't know if I'm saying your name right there, Poe, says high school students don't get to do fun stuff. I buy season holiday packs. I let them decorate my door. Bonus for me because I'm too short to reach the top. Nice. You gotta
innovative. Very good.
All right, so 7% of everyone 7% said lots of background noise. 18% said during exercise, in which I can totally see that.
Right,
I actually do that too. When I go. Yeah, when I go run, like I keep my phone's there for music, but I also like keep a thing open because a lot of times I get ideas too, and I like to jot things down. So that makes sense. 30% said group brainstorming, and the most at 45% said quiet solitude, which I totally get.
It vacillates for me. You know, like I think a lot of times quiet solitude is nice because then I can focus, but there's times when like we group just like these chats, right? Like we bounce off each other. But I really do like Panera in the coffee shop. That surprised me that the background noise wasn't higher.
Oh, you thought it'd be higher? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, you got to be like lots might be the word that got them because I don't know if I would consider Panera to be lots of background noise.
It's kind of they were thinking like Taylor Swift concert lots.
Yeah. I could probably do a lot of work at Taylor Swift concert. Just, no, I like the coffee shop like a Starbucks or like the local coffee shop, whatever, because it's sort of like it's almost like a light murmur, like just like now you can get loud. But
I think the interesting thing about creativity too, you know, a lot of the chat was talking about creativity with our students, but for some reason I had the hat of creativity for myself. And I think that's probably because of the work I've been doing this summer. I've been doing a lot of writing, a lot of blogging, a lot of making courses. And so creativity is like big on my mind right now.
Yeah.
I forget what I was going to say about that.
Well, I'm going to say that Kristen said passionate people feed off the energy, just saying.
We do.
Poe said I like quiet, but bouncing ideas really is the best.
Yeah.
Which I agree. Yeah.
I know what I was going to say. But like creativity doesn't come when you want it to come. Like that's the biggest thing I've learned. Like, we can apply that to students and we can apply that to ourselves. My most creative moments happen when I'm randomly driving in the car and I get a blog idea and I'm like voice typing in the car to get this idea down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can't necessarily dictate when and where creativity is going to happen.
You can't really force it. And we had a moment, you know, where everybody knows that we're writing books and stuff, and you have been writing a lot, and then you had like about a 4-day, maybe 5-day span where you're just like, I can't, like, there's this block. And I told you, I'm like, I don't give orders, but I'm giving an order. 24 hours, don't touch it. Don't even look at it. Go do other things.
Right.
Because sometimes going to do other things that even other creative things or other mundane things, whatever, will let your brain
absolutely
like not think about it. It's sort of like when you lose your keys and you look everywhere and you can't find them, but as soon as you stop looking for them, you find them, right?
Right.
you let your brain do that. So I do want to touch. Laura came in. She said, "Okay, I figured it out. I always spray paint my own artwork for my room, which is abstract with use of stencils. Goes with stories or things I teach, English 2, mythology, short stories, etc. So first week of school, students will paint. Done.
Boom.
Basically drop the mic.
And then you have to take pictures and send us, Laura, okay?
Yes, you got to send pictures, Laura. Absolutely. Kristen says, I do need quiet space when I'm writing, though. Understandable. I think writing is the one thing that, in my mind, I prefer quiet. Like, I don't like, because I just can't keep, I don't know. So I agree with that, too. Jeff says, lots of background noise works for me because I'm getting ideas from my students in class all the time. I get my ideas from my students' needs. I love that. So were there anything that popped out? And I know you had a lot of other stuff going on, so I don't know how you seem to be really into the chat, but I know you were less able to be around as much because you got a family and your mom and stuff. Yeah. But are there any that are jumping in your head right now of things that popped up? You mentioned some of the side conversation things that kind of jumped out at you, or a question that you're like, oh gosh, I love that because of X. It's okay if it's not. I'm just asking.
I mean, the one that just keeps sticking out in my head is the conversation about standards. And I don't think I can drive home enough the fact that standards do not have to be negative constraints. They can be positive constraints. And if we can shift our thinking as teachers as this is a challenge for me, a creativity design challenge. And I guess really, Jeff, just so much of it comes down to what I took out of this is not creativity for my students. It was entirely about creativity for me. And so I would encourage those of you watching, whichever way you interpreted it during the chat, go back and think about it from the other side. So if you were focusing on it as like creativity for you as an educator, go back and think about how those things apply to the way you approach creativity for students and vice versa. Because I think, again, we say this all the time, but the way that we work with adults and the way that we work with students really isn't that different. We do a lot of the same things when we're designing PD for adult teachers or principals or whatever that we're working with that we do when we're designing really high quality instruction for students. So take these creativity ideas and put them in both realms.
Yeah, I love that. And I wanted to touch also on like the I lost it because you were saying other awesome things.
Sorry.
No, when you talk about the standards, like they're a constraint, but they're also like, I mean, as it stands right now, like they're not going away right now, right? So like by flipping them to a positive, they become one less thing that we can allow to potentially be negative in our mind, potentially allow us to complain or maybe even let an excuse slip in there. By flipping them and saying, no, they're not a negative, I'm not going to complain about them, I'm not going to let them be a reason I can't do this, that, or whatever. I'm going to flip it to a positive. It's an opportunity for me to be creative and to learn and stuff because they're not going away right now until until that's changed. And that's okay. Like utilize that, but flip it to a positive. I love that. And that's I right when you first started talking, you hit that. So and
then I just kept babbling. But no, I mean, it's all about mindset.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely.
Any problem that you as a teacher feel, because there's thousands of them, but you feel like they should be blamed for whatever situation is happening, whether it's standards or textbooks or administration or 1,000 funding, whatever you're feeling like you should blame, step back and say, okay, instead of blame, what can I do with this? How can I turn this into a positive way?
Gotcha. I do want to mention that Laura says she said we'll do pictures and videos. So I've got an idea, and Laura can comment whether she wants to do it or not. I think we bring Laura either onto the page or into the group, and we do like let's show it off when she gets there. So Laura,
put that on the calendar, and then you have to do it, Laura.
Yeah, exactly. Kristen's gonna get us into a conversation about standards. She said, should they go away? Or a list of skills?
I don't think so.
No, yeah, and that's I wasn't saying that either necessarily. I think it's just flipping them. Like, a lot of people do see them as a potential negative or more.
I think there's plenty of people.
I think she touches on a point there. Like we get to choose. I think that can sometimes be the culture of where you're at and administration stuff. That sometimes you don't always get to choose as much. And I think that the key is finding that creativity within whatever constraints you have to make it your own and make it work. So, Betsy's talking about the
nice Betsy. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
Love it. There's so much that we can do.
I'm enjoying Jeff's as well.
Pirate ship.
Bones, we build our own individual pirate ships.
Gosh,
I
look at all
like
these
that.
comments. It
Laura,
makes me so
I'm
happy.
putting up on the screen so we have video proof of Laura agreeing to that.
Nice.
So when it's done, we're gonna bring her in and do that. So
Awesome.
let's see what she's saying.
Awesome.
Okay. Negative closed mindset. Yeah, it is a closed mindset, same as negative. Absolutely. Car must be the driven a certain way because our standard way is to drive. We pick the style, the color, and so much more. That's a great way of putting it. I really like that. So yeah, just it's you can do that with clothes too.
And,
like
and you know
different
what?
style. Oh, it's awesome.
It comes to there's so
Oh
much
no,
more.
Kristen, I didn't think that you were thinking that. I love you. You don't ever have to apologize to me. She's awesome. I love Kristen. We're gonna bring
I need to meet her. I need to meet Kristen.
I'm agreeing on behalf of Kristen that she's gonna come into the private group and do some stuff with us because she'll say yes because she's amazing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, go on, Tiff. What were you saying?
What was I saying?
I don't know. We say a lot of stuff. We say a lot of stuff. Hey,
good.
let's. Well, while you think of that, let's talk real quick about next week.
Okay. Oh, who's it gonna be?
Next week is this new really cool teacher that I just met. Her name's Ray Hewart.
So Ray's moderating this week.
Yeah, I think it's Ray. I'm pretty positive it's Ray next week. And I know Amber told me, but I forgot. So if Amber, if you're still on there, can you comment what the topic is next week? Because I should know that and I don't, and that's my fault. Kristen says you have my heart, and then provides some smiley faces with hearts.
Love it.
Love it.
Well, Ray's fabulous. So she's
Ray is awesome. I apologize.
Can we talk about Ray for just a quick second? Because
let's talk about Ray for several seconds.
Okay, let's do it.
Because when she watches this, she's going to blush. And it's going to be.
I know, I love it. So the whole teach further stuff she does, which I think we can all agree is absolutely amazing, engaging, community driven, fabulousness. So those of you watching, you may know that I run a mastery learning classroom with the grid method. I do gamification. I'm a big fan of flipped learning, and I love ed tech, right? So add to all that the fact that I'm going to do some teach further units this year. And I'm so excited because I'm in the middle of planning mine right now, my first teach further unit. And Ray is amazing. And I'm so inspired by everything that she is teaching me how to do. And so it'll be really cool. It's going to be a grid method, teach further, gamified. I'm going to explode in excitement.
Laura met Ray last week. Now they're friends.
Way, Laura.
You're making Kristen jealous.
Right.
Yeah, so Ray, I think Ray was bouncing a few different ideas around. She might be covering the teach better mindset, which is obviously is what we just build on. So I don't know if she's going to do that, or maybe she'll touch on teach further. Maybe she'll bring out who knows what standards based grading, or just how to be awesome. Like she would do really good with just how to do awesome.
Oh my gosh, I should totally do a chat that says awesome. The topic is awesome.
It's just awesome. Yeah, I think we can do that. Kristen's talking about jelly, so now I'm hungry. So thanks for that. No, I love these. I love this just the chats and being on here and stuff. I missed it the last 2 weeks. So really good. I really appreciate everybody who's been commenting tonight and going with us, and for putting up with the fact that we had some technical issues at the beginning.
Yeah, such patience.
Really great.
Thank you, guys.
Laura's saying, oh, that's right, they met last week. So she said she did the chat preview live with me. So yeah.
Yeah, they became best buddies last week.
Definitely a huge shout out to Cameron Carter. I have his Twitter handle floating through there. So if you aren't already following him after tonight, you should be.
Gosh, he's doing some amazing things.
Yeah, he does some really cool stuff. He's going to a new school. He's really super excited. So it's been really cool how he goes in there and sort of what he's going to bring to that school's culture and stuff. Just a super fun guy. Just in general, like super passionate.
I just want to hang out with him.
Yeah,
like, Cameron, let's go get drinks.
We're all jealous because Chad's the only one who's met him in person, so we're gonna change that. But so shout out to Cameron, I absolutely loved it. Great chat. Big shout out and thanks to everyone who was in the chat because we trended like crazy tonight.
Awesome.
And that's just cool. So I'm excited to go back and get all the tweets that I missed.
Yeah.
Next week, same time. Same place. Come on over with Ray. Do want to also mention that Ray and Tiff and I will be live on Monday, the 23rd, around 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. We've got a pretty cool announcement that we're going to be making, some changes that are coming that we think are really cool, that we're really pumped up about. We think you're going to be excited about too. And I don't want to give it away, but along with that, there may be some like other really cool announcements and maybe even some giveaways. We might give away some stuff. Who knows? Like some really cool stuff, but we're really excited about stuff. And Ray and Tiff are all going to be. We're all going to be at the E3 Technology Conference Monday, Tuesday out in Warsaw, Indiana. So if you're going to E3, come see us.
And if you're not and you live in Indiana, you
come
should.
See us anyway.
You can still register and you can come hang out with us. So
it's Warsaw Community High School.
Ray.
And we're like, I think there's 5 total. Right? You're doing 2, right? Aren't you? 2 presentations.
Yeah.
You're speaking twice. Ray's speaking twice. I get to do 1 because I'm not quite as cool as you guys. We've got a table. We're going to be giving out stress balls, giving away a Kindle Fire, and doing all kinds of and just having fun. So come on.
And you know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say, Jeff?
Here's
a thought, and I'm not going to ask permission before doing this because I don't do that. If some of our Mastery Chat family is going to come to the E3 tech thing, like we should get coffee Tuesday morning.
Well, yeah.
We should meet up at a Starbucks and face to face with y'all because that would be cool.
Yes. So yeah, come to E3.
Do it.
That's what we're trying to say. It's gonna be fun, but if you can't make it, which is gonna be horrible. But if you can't make it, that's okay. We'll be on there. The 3 of us are gonna be together, so we're gonna go live together and share our excitement about what the announcement that we're driving Betsy nuts. She said, okay, now we just want to know. So that will be coming. We got some really cool stuff that we're really excited about. So hope you guys will join us then. Hopefully we will see some of you or some Master Chat folks out at E3. If not, we'll see you guys Monday when we go live, and we'll absolutely see you back here next Thursday, 8 o'clock. We'll be live about 15 minutes before, previewing the chat, and then absolutely afterwards with Ray talking about all the awesomeness. So thank you guys for everything you do, for coming out every Thursday night and just chatting all together with us and collaborating and just being simply amazing.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best way. So we're going to end it on that. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.